Aloha Big Island, this is Wago with your January 7th update. Moving a little slow today, but I'm going to try and get this video out to you in under 5-8 minutes. Alright, update. Today on Twitter is just the same thing. It is Yang Week. If you're not aware and this is your first time to the channel, Yang Gang is descending upon Iowa in hordes. The last count that I heard was like something like 180. Long story short, everybody meets up in the morning. They figure out where they're going, what they're doing. They're canvassing, they're phone banking, they're texting, they're door knocking, they're going to businesses. Long story short, there are people on the ground. I've included descriptions to Paget's, to Boyce, to Kai's, to a bunch of different sites. The long and short of it is, you can watch them do firsthand. The videos are a little bit long, but if you skip through different portions of it, you'll see how their confidence levels from the beginning to the end. Anywho, in the description below, Mindful Skeptics, Boyce has gotten some swag gear, and he's going to be raffling that off or giving that away to anybody who's donated to his channel. So if you've donated $1 or $1 million, check out Boyce's channel. You have the option, or you actually have the chance of winning some cool gear. It's really an awesome way to give back. Secondly, problem solver politics. Hey everybody, CNC and the Jibber Jab Factory put out polls about Andrew at the New Mexico Emerson poll. I believe double digits, 10%, which means that he is up there. If I remember the graph correctly, I do believe that Warren and Biden, or Sanders or Biden, are like sitting at 22, 27, 25, something like that. So not too far off. I'm sure when it gets closer to the caucus, those things are going to change. Also, if there's more polls, so hashtag poll the people. Let's find out what they think. There is also talking a little bit about what that momentum looks like from start to finish. All right, they named the article for the second link that I put in the description, "He Who Shall Not Be Named," which is a very interesting segment that they're doing, because we're basically 3 months into the media blackout about calling out all the different channels, basically leaving Gang out of pictures, out of graphs, out of fonts, out of everything. And yet again, it happened. I believe it was MSNBC or CNBC that they were talking about Tulsi and then put up a random GIF that had nothing to do, and then they were talking about Yang and put up a random Tulsi GIF. It's like, it could have been a mistake. Who knows? Who cares at this point? Paget Kagi. Check out her channel. She chats about Dave Chappelle possibly being a supporter and what that looks like, because he's performing a comedy special very soon, which has other people which have come out and said they're Gang favored. Let's see. In there, she also talks about Cookie Day, which is January 13th, the importance of getting little Yang cookies for people to sell to raise awareness. I do believe she's mentioned on that channel in the beginning and underneath the first 2 minutes about how Evelyn Yang is going to be on a TV program and talking about Andrew and eating a cookie, hopefully. Also in there, she talks about the 5% polls and what that means to the momentum of the wave of the Yang Gang. Linsight, what a great one. He's talking about the money spent on Iran. Very summed up to the point. Nobody asked us where that $4 billion came, or $4 trillion came to bail out the banks, and nobody asked us about going into a war. Nobody said anything. Trump is acting on his own, and regardless of how you feel about Trump or not, the idea that Congress doesn't have the power to intervene between and be the person to establish if we go into war or not, and then it's just at the Twitter of some some person. It's one person besides all of us. It doesn't really feel like democracy and freedom. Yang talks about it, but the idea that Linsight's bringing out is the amount of money spent on just that, just the procedure of what we're doing right now is up there. Nobody's asking where that money's come. The government could just make this money. If you've watched the video and you agree or you've got questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. I'd love to get some more questions and answer those as well, even by reaching out to the guys on these channels. Triple Cup Chuck Synergy today was talking about how to grab the African-American vote. He took a segment from The Daily Show that Raywood Jr., and if you don't know who Raywood Jr. is, Google him. He's a very funny comedian. He was talking to black voters and asking them how they feel, and I think there's 6 or 7 people in there, and one out of the group is a Trump supporter, and they don't really bash on him, but they do go in to talk about how the views and opinions the one individual had are they're not current. they're not current with what's going on in the world today, and how to also address that. Tiote Productions, she is live in Iowa right now. If you jump on this one, you might be able to see the tail end of her live stream. Other than that, she's together with the Gang group in Iowa, and she's going to be going out and canvassing. They're going to be giving tips and hints on how it feels to go door to door and talk to people, as well as hanging flyers. Check it out, Yang Week. Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. Nerds for Yang. Tom did a longer video special with Aaron from another channel. If I had to guess right off the top of my head, I would say it's either Humanity First or Humanity for Yang. But I do believe it's Humanity First. It has to do with videos, humanity videos. Long story short, Tom and Aaron talk for quite a while. The segment today's link comes from is in a full link description from yesterday. So if you haven't caught up through all of ours in the last couple of days, to be current, jump back to the previous videos on the 6th, 7th, I believe it was. Anywho, today's they're talking about Trump's involvement in Iran, how it's working, how Andrew Yang administration might have to do a cleanup in 2020 on, and also a couple things about Biden. How come more hasn't been said? How come things have been said about it, but nothing's really reached into fruition? Nobody's calling anybody on anybody. If we're going to be sticklers on Trump, we need to be sticklers on Biden. If we're going to be sticklers on Yang, we need to be sticklers on every single candidate and make sure that their intentions are awesome and pure, because that's the way we get informed and educated to make an enlightened decision. Other than that, I believe that's my wrap-up for the day. Kind of short. Make sure that you go out there and you get registered to vote. Go to vote411.org, or you could go to rockthevote.org, or you could go to vote, I believe it's https://vote.gov. Anywho, get out there. As always, go and text bank and go and phone bank. Not only will you be joining the Yang Gang instantly by going to yang2020.com, finding out how to volunteer, but they'll set you up with Slack, where you're going to have an intercommunication device to talk to every Yang Gang member that is on the channel. Plethora of information. If you have a question about anything that anybody asks you during texting, there's a platform where you could have kind of questions like, won't my taxes go up? You kind of scroll up to the taxes part, you look at it, read the description, and you give the person the answer. If it's not something that you've dealt with, say, I don't know, give me a second, let me find out and get back to you. There's nothing better than being human approach to this, having humanity first. And then, as always, if you like this channel, please comment in the below about what you would like to see, if you have any suggestions, or you just want to say hello. Also, if you could share this, that'd be wonderful. We are taking donations at Patreon. If you'd like to go down to the description, give $1, give $5, anything would help. It goes to getting Yang gear to hand out, printing flyers, and just being a part and a source of organization on the Big Island. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm Wago, and I appreciate you being here. Mahalo and aloha, Big Island Yang Gang.